Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Congregation of Mendon, Uxbridge. We're glad you're with us today. Wherever you're viewing this service from, even whenever you're viewing this service, it's good to be together in community by spirit, and we look forward to the day when we can fully gather in person again. We have a special treat this morning. We have a guest musician. His name is Aidan LeBlanc. And he's going to start us off with an original piece he wrote called The Eye of the Snowstorm. Thank you, Aidan. Today's opening words are by Robin Gray, followed by a chalice lighting. Day breaks on our gratitude for family and friends, for the freedom to find our own truth, for the company of those who gather here and the promises we offer one another. Let the light of day bring the grace of faith into our lives. We light this chalice for gratitude, for freedom, and for this congregation. May the light of this chalice inspire us to share our lights more brightly with each other and the world. Please join me in saying the unison affirmation of the congregation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I want to note that you're invited to send in your joys and concerns and milestones for candles that I will light later in the service. So you can send in those joys and concerns via the live stream chat or on the contact form on the web page. Or for the few of you that are present here, there are note cards in the back. And I will light candles for those things at the end of the service. The opening hymn is Come Sing a Song with Me, number 346. If you have a hymnal, I'll read a few words. I chose this because it's the end of winter now as we're welcoming these signs of spring. And so this song is a favorite for many people. And it says, I'll bring you a song of love when love is hard to find, and I'll bring you a rose in the wintertime. So it goes like this. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the wintertime. you. Today's story is called Natural Treasure by Robert Van de Weyer. Patty grew the finest gooseberries, black currants, and red currants in the whole country. He had 3 fields of fruit bushes, and every day he worked hard hoeing around the bushes, taking out any weeds. So the bushes had all the goodness of the soil to themselves. By the middle of each summer, the bushes were heavy with large, juicy fruit. However, Patty was not as good at raising children as he was at raising fruit. His 2 sons were known as the laziest young men in the country. They spent all day just sitting around eating and chatting and drinking. They never lifted a finger to help their father. And as the years passed, Patty became increasingly worried about his son's laziness. "I'm afraid that after I die," he would tell his neighbors, "all my fruit bushes will become overgrown with weeds, and my sons will starve." A wise hermit lived near the village. Patty decided to ask the hermit for advice. After he heard Patty's story, the hermit sat and thought for a few moments. At last, he rose up and assured Patty that he would teach his lazy sons to work. Then the hermit went to see the young men. "I have something very important to tell you," he said to them. "In those fields of fruit bushes, there is a great treasure. It will be enough to feed and clothe you for the rest of your lives." So the young men listened to this interesting word from the hermit, and so they did go out into the fields each day, searching for treasure. It was September then, and they did this every day up until Christmas time. And as they searched for treasure, they dug around every fruit bush, turning over the earth in hope of finding gold and treasure. But by Christmas Eve, they had found nothing. So they went back to the hermit and accused him of deceiving them. "I haven't deceived you," said the hermit with a grin. "You must keep searching. I promise you that by next September, you will have found the treasure." The sons didn't believe him. "Very well, then," the hermit continued, "I'll make a bargain with you. If by September you have not found enough treasure to buy food and clothing for you for the rest of your lives, then I will share whatever I receive with you. But if you do find treasure, you must share it with the poor people in this village." So the brothers agreed. They continued to dig and search, turning over the earth between the fruit bushes. Patty watched with great satisfaction, pleased that while his son searched for treasure, no weeds would grow. Thus, by the middle of the summer, the bushes were again heavy with large and juicy fruit. The hermit came to the fields to talk with the 2 sons. "Ah," he exclaimed, looking at all the fruit bushes, "I see you have found your treasure." "What do you mean?" the young men demanded. And then it dawned on them. Over the next few weeks, the hermit helped them pick the treasure. Half they sold in the market for a good price, and the other half they gave to the poor. And from then on, the brothers continued to work hard in the fields. Every year, they sold half the crop and gave away the rest. And as the hermit had told them, the money they got from selling all those wonderful fruits was quite enough to feed and clothe them for the rest of their lives. It's now time for the morning offering. We invite you to give what you can via the link on the web page, on the live stream chat, or sending in a check, or giving in your time and your talent and your love and devotion for the church. However you can do so. We need your support at these challenging times, and we're so grateful for all of you who are able to give and who give of your time, of your talent, and of your treasure. The offertory will be Danny Boy. Thank you. I now invite you into a time of meditation. I will say a few words, and then we will hear the sound of my singing bowl, and then Aidan will play Spirit of Life. Please join me in this time of meditation. Let us begin by taking a few deep breaths together. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the infinite peace to you. Peace. Thank you. Luck or pluck is the title of my sermon today. What is luck? It is a belief in the chance happening, either good fortune or misfortune, the force of chance, like a dice roll. What is pluck? Spirited, courageous determination. Since meaning making is so ingrained in humans, I guess it makes sense that so many cultures and peoples have traditions, stories, and superstitions around luck. There are so many of these things, the stories and the superstitions around luck. Probably every culture has such stories and traditions. As part of meaning making, humans have tried to tame the unknown by creating things and rituals and objects that are supposed to bring luck. Today's service has a St. Patrick's Day theme, so I will start by sharing a few Irish luck beliefs. The phrase luck of the Irish is commonly thought to mean extreme good fortune. During the gold and silver rush years in the second half of the 19th century, many of the most successful miners were Irish. Over time, the association of the Irish with mining fortunes led to this expression, luck of the Irish. While shamrocks are three-leaf clovers, it's the four-leaf clovers that are considered lucky. There are approximately 10,000 three-leaf clovers for every lucky four-leaf clover. According to Irish tradition, each leaf in the clover symbolizes good omens for faith, hope, love, and luck for the finder. We've probably heard legends about pots of gold buried at the ends of rainbows. These legends originate from long ago, when Vikings invaded Ireland at the end of the 8th century. The Vikings were known for looting and burying gold and other treasure in undisclosed locations. The legend of pots of gold began when they eventually departed the shores of Ireland, leaving some of their stolen goods behind. However, science tells us that rainbows do not have ends, since they are actually circles. And people can sometimes even see their circle shapes when they're up high in an airplane or on a high mountain. Rainbows also seem to move further away as we approach them. So I'm afraid we won't have any luck finding the end of the rainbow, never mind a pot of gold. Maybe you can find a four-leaf clover, though. Do you consider yourself a lucky person? Many people have beliefs about luck, even if they never talk about them. Several years ago, Money magazine told about a researcher who conducted an unusual experiment. He divided people into two groups, those who considered themselves lucky and those who considered themselves unlucky. So if you were taking part in this research experiment, which group would you put yourself in the lucky group or the unlucky group? And this is how the research was done. The people in both groups were given newspapers. The researcher asked them to tell how many photos were in the newspaper. On average, the people who considered themselves unlucky spent around 2 minutes counting up all the photographs in the newspaper. Meanwhile, the people in the lucky group came up with the answer in seconds. Would you like to know why the lucky folks came up with the answer so fast? On the second page of the paper, in a big font, were the words, "Stop counting. There are 43 photographs in this paper." The lucky people generally saw the message and immediately had the correct answer. And the unlucky ones totally bypassed the message as they continued counting. The folks who put themselves in the unlucky group also missed another message halfway through the paper. And that message said, "Stop counting, tell the researcher you saw this, and win $250. The folks were so set on just counting that they missed the second message too, and the chance to win $250. The unlucky people missed both opportunities. People who believed they were lucky viewed the world the way lucky people would, being open to opportunities that appeared to happen upon them. People who believed they were unlucky had little or no openness to the unexpected opportunities that appeared right under their noses. It also appears that there is a relationship between happiness and one's beliefs about luck. Emelana Simon Thomas wrote, according to a recent study, happy people have very specific beliefs about luck. The people who are more happy are less likely to see luck as some kind of outer force that makes things happen for people. Less likely to think of this just random force making things happen, But the people who are happy are more likely to consider themselves personally lucky. A subtle but important distinction. The researchers observed that the less happy people tended to have this stronger belief in external luck that dictates our fate, good or bad. The authors point out that blaming luck for events and experiences deprives people of personal agency and self-determination. On the other hand, according to the surveys, happier people tended to view themselves as personally lucky. Viewing yourself as lucky, the researchers suggested, can be considered a variant of gratitude that breeds hope and other positive emotions and experiences. As I mentioned, as opposed to luck, pluck is spirited, courageous determination. It is desire that rolls up its sleeves and summons its energy and gets the job done. When Monty Roberts was a child, his father was an itinerant horse trainer. The father moved the family as he went from stable to stable, from ranch to ranch, training horses. Thus, Monty's school was continually interrupted. One day, his teacher asked him to write about what he wanted to be when he grew up. Monty did not hesitate and wrote a 7-page paper about his goal to be the owner of a horse ranch. He wrote about his dream with many details and even drew a map with the location of the buildings and the stables on his horse ranch, and even a detailed house plan. 2 days later, he received the paper back with an F on the front page. After class, he went to the teacher and said, "Why did I receive an F?" The teacher responded, "This dream is so unrealistic for a boy like you who has no money, no resources, and who comes from an itinerant family. There is no possibility you will reach your great goals one day." Then the teacher offered a chance to rewrite the paper with a more realistic attitude. The boy thought about this and went home and asked his father what he should do. The father answered, "This decision is very important for you. You have to make up your own mind on this." After several days, Monty brought the same paper back to his teacher, and he had made no changes. He said to his teacher, "Keep the F, and I will keep my dream." Now, Monty Roberts owns a 4,000-foot square house in the middle of a 200-acre horse ranch, and he still has that school paper, which is now framed over the fireplace. So a postscript, I find stories lots of places, and I found this particular story on the internet, and I was curious if this was true. It's a good story, even if it's not true, but it turns out that Monty does have a horse ranch, and he's devoted his career to training horses, and he's learned how to do so in a non-violent manner. Additionally, Monty is a New York Times best-selling author. Monty said, "I was born in the saddle, first riding in front of my mother as she taught students to ride. My father trained horses in the traditional way, 6,000 years of methods handed down generationally, often violent and rarely fair to the horse. My father expected me to follow in his footsteps. I vowed to seek better methods for my horses." And Monty did. He came up with a very effective horse training program that starts with listening to the horse and then developing a partnership with the horse that does not entail violence. Monty's book is called The Man Who Listens to Horses, the story of a real-life horse whisperer. He said his life's goal is to leave the world a better place than I found it, for horses and for people too. So did Monty get his successful career and life by luck or by pluck? It all depends how you look at it. One could say that luck caused him to be born to parents who both trained horses. However, Monty could have given up on his dream when his teacher discouraged him, or some other time. It took Monty years. He's in his 80s now, and he's still working, and he actually dedicated decades to build his life's work of teaching people how to partner with horses. Lots of intention, dedication, hard work, and yes, Pluck. There are many opportunities that we get in life. And it is important to note that we all don't always have a level playing field. Racism, homophobia, classism, sexism, ageism, and other isms can also play into the opportunities that people may or may not have. Classism played into the teacher's disparagement of Monty's dream. A white person may be given benefits or opportunities not given to a person of color. A job may go to a younger man instead of an equally qualified older woman. A straight person may be given more leniency in court than a gay person, and so on. We must continue working to even the playing field so that all people will have a level place from which to make their luck. What if we think of luck as being intrinsic to our very experience? Against all odds, we are here together on this ball circling the sun, breathing, thinking, feeling, choosing, acting. What if we nurture this sense of awe and gratitude, realizing that we're lucky just to be alive? If we can nurture this sense, it will bless our lives in untold ways. And since we live in an interconnected web, the more we have this sense, the more we'll bless other people from this sense. What if we create our own luck by our mindset and by our actions? We can have an openness to life even though we don't know the ending from the beginning. There are always going to be things that are out of our control, but we can build that openness to life. We can have control of how we make meaning. If something bad happens, we can call it bad luck. Or we can acknowledge that sometimes things happen and that we are unaware of all the causes and effects. If something good happens, we can make the most of it and encourage more positive things by being grateful for it, by savoring it, by telling ourselves how lucky we are, how personally lucky, how blessed, whatever words you want to use. Maybe our positive mindset and actions will attract more good things to us. Maybe our positive mindset and actions will attract more good things to us. Will more good things actually come, or will we be simply more aware of all the good things that do come anyway? A question for you to ponder. Will more good things actually come, or will we simply be more aware of all the good things that come into our lives? What if the sources of our power are actually intention and commitment and pluck? I'll close with one of my favorite quotes from W.H. Murray in the Scottish Himalayan expedition. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Go and make your luck. Go and use your pluck and begin it now. Amen and blessed be. I will now light candles of joy and concern that have been sent in. The first is a candle of concern for our COVID-19 positive clients and staff from Sonia. For those clients and staff that have COVID and those other people, if we know others that have COVID as well. Along this note, I will also say a candle of joy. I had my second vaccine this week, and I'm hearing of more and more people that are getting the vaccine, and I'm hopeful that by summer, all adults will have the vaccine, and we will be able to resume life a little bit more normally. So that's very encouraging news on that front. And then we have 3 candles of joy. A candle of joy for the music. Thank you for joining us today, Aidan, from the Unitarian Congregation at Mendon and Uxbridge. And this one is from Ken. A candle of joy and celebration for Sonia's birthday. Happy birthday to the most amazing person I know. From Ken, for Sonia. Happy birthday, Sonia. Yes. Well, we're all wishing Sonia happy birthday. From Marcia, a candle of joy that daffodils are coming up. I'm waiting for my forsythia to bloom. And I will light the final candle for those things that remain unspoken in our hearts and minds. So I have a few announcements today. First, Mendon First Parish will have its annual meeting at 12 noon today, in person here in Goss Hall. So hope you can make that. If perchance not enough people show up, then it will be postponed. But we're hoping to have that meeting at noon today. Second, we are collecting donations for the Milford Community Meals Program, as most of you know. So if you want to donate things like soups and chilies and pastas and in cans, or breakfast foods, shelf-stable little boxes of milk or bottles of water, warm winter clothing for a little bit longer, or other breakfast foods, all those things are welcome, and they're so appreciated by the food insecure folks in the greater Milford community. So this is a program of 6 different local churches, and we have boxes in the entryway, so you can come in on a Sunday morning and drop those off, or you can make arrangements with any of us who has a key, and we can take those donations over for you. So thank you to all who are donating for that. Kindness activities for the week. So as many of you know, we are having a kindness challenge during Lent, and every week there is a different focus on who we're directing our kindness to. So this week, March 14th to March 20th, the focus is a fun one. It's on random acts of kindness. And I will read the suggestions. They are also on the webpage as well. Or you can come up with your own ideas for random acts of kindness. But let's blanket the Milford Uxbridge larger community with random acts of kindness this week and make a splash in the world. Also, there should be an announcement about this in the Mendon Upton Town Crier this week, as well as a listing of the Easter service and an article by yours truly. So the March 19th paper, so you can look for that. And let's have fun with these random acts of kindness. 10 suggestions for you. 1, buy coffee for the person behind you or pay for someone's meal without them knowing who paid the bill. 2, leave a great coupon next to that item at the grocery store. 3, dress up a local statue with a hat, scarf, etc. for someone to claim. You can provide colorful visual interest as well as warming a passerby. I think that's a fun one. I've actually been looking around for statues that I could put a hat or a scarf or something on. Some of them are very tall and you won't be able to reach, such as the Aidan Blue statue in Hopedale, or the General Draper on his horse in Milford. Like, don't hurt yourself trying to put winter clothing on statues. But in Franklin, I found a few that are lower down, including a child statue in front of the Historical Museum. So I'm going to have fun with this week. So if you want to join me in adding a few warm clothes to fun statues, please feel free. Number 4, leave quarters at the laundromat. Those folks will really appreciate it if they find the luck of quarters just sitting there for them. 5, write a poem in chalk on the sidewalk. What about a haiku? 6, donate some interesting books to a little library. 7, if you have a free coupon, or if there's a buy one, get one free sale at the grocery store, and you don't need the extra item, give it away. Number 8, let someone else take that great parking spot. They'll think they're lucky. Number 9, leave a small gift anonymously on someone's front step. Number 10, scatter wildflower seeds in unlikely places. So have fun with that this week. We will go up until Easter with this kindness challenge. So stay tuned next week for next week's challenge. I also want to announce the 2 Irish ballads that Aidan is playing. The first one is the Irish Ballad by Arthur Weld. He already played that one. And the postlude is the Irish Ballad from Tom Layer. So hope you're enjoying the Irish music today. I know I am. I will now extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but we carry with us the warmth of caring community, the light that comes from seeking knowledge, and the flame of passionate commitment. These we carry with us. In the benediction, may the may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Go in peace. And let us say the serenity prayer together. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
All right.
Yay!